All right, this is so fucking stupid. I got it though.
This is America, and this is the White House, where Donald Trump's memorandum of understanding has already led to a drop in oil prices. I'll be back shortly to look at how it's also impacted other countries involved in the war. But for now, to Niamh Barker in our Washington studio.
Thank you, Alan. Well, the devil is in the details, and White House officials have publicly laid out the terms for Donald Trump's memorandum of understanding to end the war with Iran. It will halt hostilities for 60 days to allow time for a final agreement to be reached. The Strait of Hormuz will be reopened almost immediately, and the U.S. naval blockade of the strait will be lifted. Iran will never produce nuclear weapons. We'll also include these terms that were being reported by U.S. media earlier in the day.
The draft calls for the U.S. to waive sanctions so Tehran can immediately start selling oil on the global market. That happens immediately, one of the few things that does besides opening the Strait of Hormuz. There is also a provision for a $300 billion development fund if Iran holds up its end of the bargain on nuclear negotiations down the line.
Well, despite White House officials publicly saying the $300 billion provision is part of the MOU, President Trump says Washington won't be paying anything.
No, we're not investing. We're not putting up 10 cents, and people can decide to do that, but that's up to them. I mean, do you want me to say nobody's ever allowed to invest in a country? We are not investing in it, and we do not have a fund. That's a false story that got picked up incorrectly, but we are not investing 10 cents.
Here's our chief U.S. correspondent, Alan Fisher, with more from the White House.
That's a mort, bro. Holy fuck.
106 days of war. And now what we have is a peace of sorts. What there is a memorandum of understanding. 14 points on 2 pieces of paper, which stops the fighting and lays the framework for future discussions.
The biggest thing is they will not have a nuclear weapon. And that's the reason I got in, and that's the reason I agreed to sign.
With an
This is
official
your hero,
ceremony
eh?
planned for Friday, the economic choke point of the Strait of Hormuz will reopen. The
You
Iranians
guys'
claim to
hero.
have
You guys
effectively
voted for
closed
this
it,
guy.
pushing up oil prices, pushing up economic pressure on countries around the world, including Donald Trump's America. Oil prices are already dropping, but that'll take a while to find its way to consumers, even though Gulf countries will again find their way to eager world markets.